founder of Leaders of the New South Community Council for Housing, and also an organizer with the Coalition for Better Public Housing. As Ms. Estes said, one of our demands is an audit of the existing conditions in the Housing Authority, and this is not just a physical audit of the structures. We want an audit of the functionality of the organization as a whole and the failures and missed opportunities that exist there. We want an evaluation of the tenant organizations, their elections, and the status of those organizations, whether they've been fully implemented or not. We want to know how those elections take place and how free are they, how engaged do the residents feel in their ability to be effective on these organizations. Number 3, we would like 2 social justice community leaders to be appointed to the Board of Commissioners. And for this reason, or the reason behind this, is that the existing commissioners have failed in their duties to secure the quality of life for the residents there and to exhibit any kind of concern and compassion demonstrated throughout the organization's culture. We would like a removal, number 4, a removal of all board members who are out of compliance with the city ordinance that limits the time that they can serve on boards and commissions in the city of Richmond. The purpose of this ordinance that was enacted last year was to bring about new blood into all of the boards and commissioners so that the cronyism can stop, and so that people who genuinely care and have a concern for the constituents that they serve can finally be appointed to these boards. Number 5, we would like an evaluation of the positions of Director of Resident Services and an evaluation of the position of Director of Operations of Public Housing. As Ms. Estes said, and as Mr. Burton said before, the buck didn't really stop with the CEO of Public Housing, the former CEO, but there are several levels of failure of upper management based on the analysis and the data that we have from residents, commissioners, tenant officers, staff members, and former staff members of our RHA. And lastly, but not leastly, most importantly, we would like full support of community organizations in implementing training for 24 CFR 964, and those are HUD regulations which tell tenants their rights and gives them their privileges, guarantees to them towards tenant participation and management of housing operations day to day. We believe that if tenants and tenant council officers were knowledgeable in their rights under 24 CFR 964, then the heating crisis would have never taken place. Residents would have been advocating for themselves, and they would have been able to better direct the RHA staff and commissioners into how they can best be treated to improve their quality of life. These are the 6 demands that we have for public housing. The residents of Richmond are no longer willing to just sit by and allow commissioners and city council members to have plausible deniability. We demand respect for our residents. We demand accountability for the councils, the commissions, and the boards of the city of Richmond.